Welcome to Pulse episode 54. It's time for some more Diablo news. There's a Warcraft episode on the way too, but for now, enjoy and appreciate the abundance of Diablo 3 goodness. In this episode, we get to see a little more on the male demon hunter, some more Facebook-like updates, some talk on Lumin, or lack thereof, hardcore deaths, how to get into the Diablo 3 beta, PvP balance, and a lot more. There's no need to wait any longer, it's news time. So with the big reveal of the male demon hunter out of the way, Blizzard decided it was finally time to update their official site with the artwork, animations, and a couple of screenshots of this most badass of classes. On the site he boasts a pair of pistol crossbows, a nice new outfit that is, to many fans' happiness, quite a bit different than the female versions. But yes, while some say that metrosexual goatee and mustache is slightly Orlando Bloom in Pirates of the Caribbean-ish, others say that it looks like a necromancer in bone armor, and others yet can't get over those boots. All I can say is I'm glad we finally know what all the classes look like, and more importantly, know that all of them are in the game and working, at least partially. Last thing worth mention is that the male demon hunter is also sporting two glowing orbs, as its female counterpart does. If you're keen for more screenshots, artwork, or just want to see that newly clad and animated bad boy in action, you can do so in the links below or over at the official site, Diablo3.com. As a few extras, the guys and girls from over at Diablo Inc Gamers have been tallying the votes to see what the public thinks about this new, different from the female look. Around 43% of the voters said that they loved the new look, which is a much better reaction than the one the concept art received. 36% of the voters said that the new animated version of the class was okay, but could be better. That said, the reactions are still a lot more positive, so that's great news. So if you are interested in that, you can check the polls and all the fans' reactions out below too, as I said, courtesy of Diablo Inc Gamers. Diablo Fans has posted a few follow-up questions concerning some of the more complex or misunderstood questions about skill trees and rune combinations that came up during their interviews with Christian Lichner and Jason Bender. All of that and more can be found below. Enjoy. The third set of Diablo Facebook-like updates has been posted. As of recording this, the Facebook fan page is nearing 620,000 likes and is going up fast. First up, we got another look at a piece of concept art that was, sadly, also not new. The artwork, which is of an unnamed and unknown demon, was done by Josh Talman, the senior concept artist working on Diablo 3. Diablo fans and Diablo Inc gamers both report that we did in fact see this back in 2008, which is quite a pity. But to make up for this, we have what has got to be one of my personal favorite screenshots to date. The shot is of a female monk wielding dual fist weapons, interrupting a ritual being performed by dark vessels. What makes it so great is that if you check the middle of the screenshot, where all the action is, you can see that one of the dark vessels has actually been cut clean in half by the monk. It is quite a sight. All that said, I would recommend that you check the full-size screenshot out, and you can do that below. The next batch of content is no doubt just around the corner, so keep checking back here for that. The next two fan art watch posts are up over at Diablo Inc Gamers, and man, is there some impressive stuff to be seen. In fan art watch number 76, we get a look at a piece by Rat's Goblin called Worldstone, An End is a New Start. This piece shows the World Stone as it is being corrupted by Baal. Next up, we have a piece by Freelance Art, which is definitely my personal favorite of the week. This one is called Witch Doctor and, well, shows the Witch Doctor doing some of his crazy magic by a fire in the jungles of Kurust. Absolutely stunning. In Fan Art Watch number 77, we take a look at a couple of Diablo 2 themed pieces featuring the Necromancer and his minions. Quite humorous. The guys over at Diablo Inc Gamers, who keep posting these amazing pieces, say that if you enjoy the fan art and want to contribute to the growing community, be sure to stop by the Fan Creations forum. There are many artists that frequent the forums posting work in progress and completed pieces looking for feedback and conversation. They stress that you absolutely don't have to be arty in any way to join in. It sounds like a really good idea to me, and with art like this, who wouldn't want to show some appreciation? So check both those fan art watch posts and the Fan Creations forum out below. Enjoy. In a few smalls, which I will turn into, well, non-smalls by talking about them here, we get a bit more information about zoom in, or the lack thereof in Diablo 3, as well as death in hardcore mode. I suppose neither of these are really new pieces of news, but it does give us a bit to think about while waiting for this most epic of games. A fan recently asked how much or how far in we would be able to zoom in Diablo 3 compared to StarCraft 2 of all things. The answer provided by @Diablo was a pretty simple one though. There's no zoom feature planned beyond a slight perspective shift when engaging in conversations. How do you feel about this? I think the fact that they are locking the perspective of the game will probably give them a little bit more creative freedom with the environments. It will be easier to balance the skills and classes, and the chances are good that it'll also help them keep the performance and the monitoring of it more stable, because the chances are if you do zoom out further, you will probably lose a bit of performance. Either way, it is pretty interesting, and I'd like to know how that slight perspective change looks now, as we know that the old side view dialogue system was in fact removed. Ultimately, I don't see anyone getting really bent out of shape because of the lack of a zoom function, though. Next up, a fan asked about dying in hardcore mode, the mode I probably won't set foot in for quite some time after launch. The fan asked a pretty simple question and received a pretty simple answer in response. The question was, what if your character is hardcore and dies? Can it be resurrected by your teammates? The answer, you ask? Well, we all know this one. Nope. In hardcore, dead is dead. I know, old news, but still, it is quite scary to think about. If you want to read more about these two smalls, and the guys over at Diablo INC Gamers' thoughts on them, check the links below. Need a little help entering the Diablo 3 beta? Well, Bashiok has been pretty quiet of late, but he did have the time to reply to a question recently about how one goes about entering Blizzard betas, or I guess the Diablo 3 beta specifically. Bashiok says that the most consistent way is just going and opting in through the Battle.net, but I will add that you are competing with, 15 million other people for a select few spots in the beta? Just make sure that if you do in fact have a Battle.net account, that you created a beta profile and selected the Diablo universe as one you'd like to test for. Lucky for us though, that won't be the only way to get in. The chances are pretty good that there will be tons of websites offering keys in competitions or giveaways, and things like pre-order deals, like some stores did for StarCraft 2. Diablo INC Gamers took this time to assure us that they will be compiling a page for the Diablo 3 beta when the time comes, and this page will include all the details we could ever need, with the aim of getting as many of us into the test as possible. Now that really warms the heart. So if you want to see Bashiok's full interactions or just want to read more from Diablo INC Gamers, you can do so below. PvP. The PvP in Diablo 3 is no doubt one of the biggest selling points in a game of this type, and also no doubt one of the most difficult things to balance. Bashiok made that pretty clear recently when he jumped into a forum post to answer a few questions regarding what Blizzard are doing about the balance in PvP, specifically for 1v1. Saying that PvP will be balanced, sure, but not that balanced. He pretty much just went on to tell the fan, who was quite adamant about getting answers, that they do intend to get PvP balanced, but they want it to be fun and have meaning to it. What was, to me at least, the best part of the entire conversation was that Bashiok said that PvP balance is not an integral goal of releasing the game, and not something that they're going to hold the game back for. If they did, it might never come out. The fan persisted though, and next up he said that the real issue, which Bashiok was apparently dodging, was the whole A is greater than B is greater than C is greater than D is greater than A thing, where the game comes down to just selecting a specific class or spec that would work well against a different class or spec in order to win. Needless to say, Bashiok also shot that one down by saying that he really doesn't see it happening. Not with the amount of options out there, the breadth of the customization, and, well, most importantly, the fun to be had. So yes, there's a lot to think about when it comes to PvP balance, but really, will you be rolling a class and a spec just because you think it'll own in arena? Just because you think it'll counter a different class or spec? I very much doubt that. Well, not for some time at least. the chances are good the players will play the classes they want to play, the classes they would enjoy playing instead. Sure, later in the game's lifespan, issues like this may arise, but hey, that's what patching is for, right? So if you want to read all about PvP balance and what Bashiok had to say about it, check the post link below. Enjoy. So let's head on over to the Diablo 3 Smalls. It's well known that Diablo offers a sea of customization options, and almost all of these have changed with the 3rd edition to the series. Want to know what's changed? Check the post out link below titled The Diablo Chronicles Socketables. Diablo INC Gamers has a really cool post up about Diablo cosplay. There are some amazing outfits here, and you even get to see the female demon hunter interacting with Illidan, of all people. Yes, definitely worth checking out, and you can find it in the links below. That's it for the Smalls and the Diablo 3 news for this episode. As usual, thanks a lot to everyone linking and sharing the video, liking it, favoriting it, and subscribing. I really appreciate it all. So keep checking back here for more, and most importantly, happy demon hunting.